everybody, this is SDSU with Global Poker, and I wanted to go over how I play heads-up tournaments for the $50 buy-in, and what a simple strategy is going to look like, as well as the standard game. For those of you that aren't familiar with Global Poker, they utilize a sweepstakes model in order to bypass the laws against online gambling. And basically, they give you one sweepstake for every $1. As you get one sweepstakes, you can cash out for real money. Exact same thing as real cash, except they utilize a sweepstake currency while in the actual app. So we've queued up for this heads-up tournament. Now we're just going to wait until we get a player, and then play a very simple strategy, as it is, I believe, a 75 big blind or less. Sorry. So let's actually see. Blinds are calculated. 1,500 divided by 20 is 75 big blinds here. So it's going to start out at 1020 with 1,500 starting stack, and the levels will rise fairly quickly. Currently, we are on the non-beta version of the table, and I actually like the older style better, so I'm going to revert that. Let's go into our settings here, and this will actually close the table, so we need to be wary of that. We're going to fold here anyway, so let's click Use Old Felt. And now I have my table back up. So we're going to play a fairly simple strategy, as in, we've already established what we're going to be raising. We're going to be min-raising almost always. And we're just going to bet our draws. As you can see here, I can check or bet this. I'm going to bet this. And play not too tricky. We're going to trap players that are a little bit more aggressive. We're going to be more aggressive. As you can see here, so he's already opening up to 5x, and obviously we always want to start betting with our good hands. Since it is fairly large, I don't need to even go 3x with such a good hand. Unfortunately, that is a bad flop for myself. There's no reason to bet here unless I want to get him off of a hand. We could bet this to get a jack, but I would like to pot control this, since he could easily have an ace, and then we're going to go ahead and bet small so that he hopefully calls with a jack. Unfortunately, I got re-raised here. The most likely hand that he's going to have is an ace. He could have eights, jacks, but along those lines, he's most likely going to have an ace. If he's doing this, it's a very, very small raise, begging to be called. I don't think that I can fold, just in case he is bluffing one out of about 6 times. So unfortunately, I think I do have to call this. And he is bluffing. And that was a very bad, weird bluff. If he would have gone a little bit larger, he would have gone away with it, most likely. So we're going to play again, straightforward. We got kings again. Everything's going to be very standard, 2/3 the pot. The draw the board, the less we have to bet. The wetter the board, we either need to check or bet large. We're just going to check back our bad hands. We can lead here, and I do like leading with our, anytime we do hit to limpers, as they will tend to check back or fold flop. So anytime we really have a hand, we're going to be mostly betting, unless the player type tells us to do otherwise. Weaker players such as this one, you really want to be betting as much as you can. We don't need to be calling any very large raises with any garbage hands. And we could be opening anything above 5 horse suited, really. bluffing, but we know he has a proprietary or propensity, that's the correct word, to bluff on the river with a click back. That's a very interesting little note that I can add. Click back, re-raise on river on dry board, ace high with king high. So this I have different color sets for each one. Blue is for he's not that good, green for he's okay, and orange and red for he's pretty good. Now, I think I do have to call here, given that he has been fairly loose, and ace-8 is a very good hand. Coin flip here, he's a little bit ahead. It is very close whether that was a call or fold, but since it was suited, I did go with the call. So let's go ahead and play another tournament just so you can get another feel for how simple these are to play and the types of players that you're going to be playing against. So we'll wait here until we get another challenger. Also, just to be cognizant of it, the fee is $3.5, so we do need some sort of edge on our player in order to be profitable. We can't just have a 50-50. We do need to be a slight favorite in order to make money and overcome that fee. So I can go on player notes. This is obviously the same guy. I can go ahead and put my king high here on a dry board. I can check back since he quickly called, and really just play pretty straightforward. Check, possibly call, small bet, a little bit larger. You go ahead. We'll go ahead and fold 4-9. And I'm basically opening anything above 4-5 offsuits, anything suited, etc. is going to be opened. You don't have to open 5-4. You can fold all the way to 9-5, etc. It's just a very gray area, and it's not that big of a difference between whether you're folding or raising with those garbage hands. So it's really up to you on how many hands you would like to open. It's not that big of a difference. We're going to go ahead and just follow through with the medium-sized pot. This guy does like to call, so we're just going to value bet to him to death. And this is obviously a simple call. Trips, not much I can do. We do want to make note of that. Bet into me fairly large on the river. Okay. So we know that when he bets smaller, he's more likely to bluff. The bigger he bets, the more likely he has it. Based off the two hands, we can adjust from there. That just gives us a way to lean, whether if we're ever on the brink of a fold or a call. It just seems like he's playing, again, a little bit. I know that we're playing very, very, what do you call it? But he is also playing. I probably should have bet that, but I checked it back. Offsuit. I might want to tighten up a little bit just because he's so colly. But I could also stay the same since he isn't re-raising me. Ace-8, he's not re-raising that. That's very interesting. So just kind of make notes of what he is and isn't raising. Here we can go ahead and bet our gut shot. And then we can check back our king and call off any small bluffs. Same thing. It's a very, very simple strategy. He likes to call. We're going to do very similar with our draws and made hands there. goes Spaz bets the river. Very interesting. Nothing too interesting here. So we're just going to play this as if we hit this, and he's folding a little bit more now, and we just make note of that. So it seems on the drier flops he really doesn't like to call, but when he has any sort of draw, he will call. He leads, which is very interesting, so that's for a decent amount. That's a little bit different than his normal route. That's not a bad card for us. I don't think he has too many aces. He could have an ace, ace six, ace actually. We're going to check this back. And hopefully he checks again. Since he did bet smaller, I think that is better for our hand than if he bet bigger here. So let's raise him here. Again, he really seems pretty straightforward on his bet size, determines the strength of his hand. And he is folding these straight flops. Also great to make a note of. First re-raise of the session. We'll ponder about it, but all we're thinking about is Vegas and fucking folding, so. This is pretty close here, but it's a little bit wetter of a board, so I think on the drier flops, that's a better opportunity for us to follow through. And we don't have something, as he seems to call when he has draws or a pair, etc. But won't play back on the dry board, even though we're not as likely to have a hand either. And again, I just don't want to instantly fold every time he bets, so we'll just act like we're thinking. And he goes all in. I think we're going to need some sort of ace 9 to ace 10 in order to call there. I could re-raise there, he's just showing a lot of weakness after shoving by limping there. Could have bet on flop, and I think this is a good run out unless he has the 10 right here. And he has an ace jack. Very, very tricky. It's good to make note of. I think this is a clear bet. And I want to go ahead and bet again. Check this. We know that he incorporates in ace jack limps, so that's very, very, very interesting. Bet big on a pretty dry flop, that's very interesting as well. Just gotta make a note of how he's playing. Feeling him out. He's limping here a lot, so this one we can actually make a raise with a decent hand, and we're gonna bet this again. And he gets it fairly easily, which is great. Now, he has been raising a little bit more as the blinds are getting bigger. So we can start letting him now hang himself. We don't want to call with king 6. We need some sort of ace x hand in order to call there. We're going to start limping a lot more since he's playing pretty aggressive, especially with our decent hands that we want to play. And then we'll be maybe raising with our ace high, etc. He is going balls to the walls with these raises, and he's going to get caught one of these times. I'm going to have a good hand eventually. And when I re-raise him all in, I don't think that he's going to go ahead and fold, even though he will know he's behind. Here's a limp. That's a little bit different. That's which is interesting. I definitely want to, again, be putting in bets when I can. We don't want it to inflate the pot any larger. And then we're going to call any small little bets he's likely to put out. He just checks trips. This guy is terrible. Hopefully he goes all in here. I would have much rather him go all in than a small raise here, but he did that fairly quickly, which makes it more likely he has an ace-x type hand, or, yeah. I don't like this spot at all, just because of how he has bet this. I would have much rather him have gone all in, but I can't really get away with it if he has like a pocket pair or something along those lines, or a king queen, so on. So I think I'll have to just go with this, unfortunately. It's not fun sometimes, but you gotta do it. And he had what I was hoping he didn't, which is ace high with a better kicker. One more for the road. I could have folded there, but he could be spazzing as he isn't that great of a player, which makes it a little bit more tricky when you're so close to. I mean, he could have easily had ace 9. Let's be completely honest. He had ace 10, ace 8 suited. These are all possible hands as well. Can't beat yourself up too much when the decision is so close. Looks like we got a new user here. Eric with a C, spelled correctly. That's great. And we're going to start off the session pretty standardly, so we get a read on exactly how this guy plays. Flopping trips. He leads into me. And I'm almost always going to go ahead and pop it back up. And we're going to play this as if he has an 8. And we have a draw. Hopefully he doesn't have, hopefully he has 8-9 or 9-10, something along those lines. So if he did have that, I'm just going to bet on an amount that he can call. Unfortunately, he doesn't. So this guy looks like he likes to min raise 3 streets, call twice, which is great to make note of. And he's min raising again. I could re-raise 6s. No reason to though. Most likely he's going to be min raising me and playing just god awfully. Finds a pretty decent card for us. Pot control with 6s. Queen's not that great of a card. He has bumped it up a little bit, but he's not really telling a great story unless he has a pocket pair here, so we're going to call. And the reason why he isn't telling a great story there is he's saying, oh, I got something on the turn. Oh, I got something on the river. Like, well, it was one of the two, so. Let's play standard. We do have a black backdoor draw here. If it's bet 20, we're going to call. If it's bet a lot, we're going to fold. Very easy. Making our decisions easy. 120 into a nothing pot. A lot of backdoors here. This guy does like to call a lot, min raise a lot, so we're not going to be as aggressive as we were against the other opponent. Unfortunately, we didn't get any of our backdoors. We're just going to check it. Those are two good bluff cards for us if we do want to bluff. And he goes ahead and bets, and that doesn't make any sense, so we're going to raise it up here. And hopefully we get away with a bluff, which we do. So that's just a line of logic that we're utilizing. Does this story make sense? What are his tendencies? And how do we want to play against that? Quick call by him. Again, I'm not too interested in playing or betting into him, or not betting into him, but trying to bluff him on the early streets. We got a great hand here, but there are a lot of things that he can call with that are just simply better than ours. And we don't really want to bluff the river. And we're going to call with our ace high, in the case that we're good. Which we are. We can shove here, or we can call. I don't mind either. I think calling's a little bit better here, though. We could call, we could fold. He's playing so terribly that it's not that big of a deal. We're not going to be playing crappy hands. He has been raising, etc., so we're not too worried. This is interesting. He usually doesn't limp, which is means I would say he has a pretty terrible hand, if I had to guess. So high cards are not going to be favorable to him. Favorable. It's a decent hand for us. Do I want to bluff now or bluff later? I think I want to bluff now. And he's just leading a little bit too much, and we haven't been playing back on his leads there, so that was a great time for a bluff where it would be hard for him to also have something with our drawing hand. When he bets bigger, I would assume he has a little bit better of a hand, so we make note of that. We're going to call this. It's a decent hand. We don't want to get re-raised off of it. And we would like to play a flop. Oh, he checked back. That's very interesting. And then calls. So if I had to guess what he has, it's either an ace or a 4. That's my best guess. And we're just going to check it. 4, 9, 10. That doesn't make any sense at all for him. So that was a very dumb move. This, the way that this guy's playing is not that great. Again, same sort of situation. If we raise and we get re-raised, we can't call. So we just call. hope he checks it back. We're going to make a stab at it. He will call pretty light. And then we have nothing here. We just can't continue with our hand. This is an interesting hand. Do we want to raise here? I guess we can. He hasn't been raising us, so again, that's why it makes it a little bit more favorable. That isn't what I like to see from this guy. We're gonna just continue to go down that same path. That's not too worrying for me. It's a little bit alarming. And that's very alarming. He's been limping a lot, so we're gonna raise this one back up. Not as worried about getting shoved on here. Ace deuce. With blinds this high, we're going to have to shove. Same sort of hand here. Call. Hopefully he checks back, which he does. And we're probably going to make a little bit of stab at it. He'll probably call, but it's still worth it. Decent card for us. We'll check it back. Another decent card for us if we want to bluff. Do we? I think we do. And he has a check. Oh, he has a card. Nice hand. Good bluff catcher. My hand to a better person. Yeah, I usually don't have an ace there. Or a great hand. I would like to raise this up as he has been bluffing a little bit too much. We're just going to make this a pretty small bet. We're going to continue with our story. And we're going to shove. Hopefully he has a 10. Because I don't think he's going to be bluffing too much on the river. And he's again just limping a little bit too much. So we're going to attack that weakness. He can't have too many hands if he's raising some and limping almost everything else. We don't want to get too obvious that we're raising him every time. There's an obvious check raise here all in. We can call. Yeah, probably gonna just get it in here if we can. And we're gonna shove. Good game. The reason why I decided to re-raise on the flop there. It's just he either has a king and he's going to continue with it, or he has a draw, which he's going to continue with, or he has nothing and he's just going to fold. And even if he improves, he's still gonna. I'm not gonna get that much money out of him. So right there was a great re-raise and definitely a cooler. But we won 2 out of 3. Want some money, and hopefully this was educational for everybody. So if you guys have any questions, comments, or suggestions on maybe what I can improve as well, let me know. Thank you.